It's been said that better questions lead us naturally to better answers, and that it's in not knowing that we open the doorway to knowing. I'm Scott Lennox, and you're listening to The Beautiful Question, a consideration of things that truly matter in a complex world. So just how much is your life worth, in dollars? If you had unlimited resources, how much would you be willing to pay to get back some of the days you've lived, or some of the experiences you've had, or the mistakes you've made? You already know the answer. We don't get to do that. We only have now. Stay with me this week as we consider how to make living in the present as meaningful and rewarding as we can. When I was struggling and going through counseling years ago, I was handed a copy of An End to Innocence by Sheldon Kopp. Referring to it as that nasty little book, my counselor insisted that I read it. In straightforward fashion, Kopp wrote about ways of facing life without illusions. It was compelling reading that asked some of the right questions and clarified a number of things for me. More than anything else, one statement stood out that has stayed with me. Kopp wrote that as a way of keeping a realistic perspective, it might be good for us to carry 2 cards with us all the time, keeping them in separate pockets. On one card is written, "Just for me to see it. God framed the universe and hung the stars into place." On the other card, "I am dust and ashes." When I read it, I was struck by the fact that both ideas are equally and simultaneously true. On one hand, we experience the vividness of life with all of its wonder and all of its terror, with all of its ugliness and all of its beauty, and everything in between. We love and we experience great loss. We try and we fail. We get up and try again and we succeed. We sometimes feel empty, and in the very next moment we're moved in ways that take us by the heart and sweep us away. How amazing to be alive. On the other hand, like ashes or like dust in the wind, we will one day be gone, completely and irrevocably gone. One of the things I take away from Sheldon Kopp's reference to dust and ashes is the entwined paradox that is the balance of life. Knowing that we'll one day pass from this life, a life we cling to so strongly and love so deeply, compels us to ask better and deeper questions. Principal among them are these 2. When I am gone, what will have mattered? And, since I'm alive in this moment, what matters right now? You already know that when the last grains of sand run out of our personal hourglass, there'll be no buyback programs and no bargaining. We don't get back any of our days or hours or minutes or seconds. We don't get to go back in time and set things right before we set sail and leave this world forever. If we're going to set things right, if we're going to live in ways that are meaningful and kind and loving, ways that are generative and collaborative, we have to do that now. I'm not suggesting that you feel a sense of frenzy or urgency about living, but you can see the obvious imperative. Since we only have now, what do we want to do with it? How do we want to make the most of it, and in what ways? You might think of yourself as an architect, constantly designing and redesigning the purpose and form and structure of your life. What do you want the life you're living and designing to look like? What functions do you want it to serve? How beautiful do you want it to be? Or how plain? How simple or how complex do you want it to be? And who do you want with you? And why? Since you're the architect, you're the one who gets to design it down to the finest details. We don't get to design what life gives us. Yet, in every moment, we're completely free to design our responses to what life hands us. That's our part. Accepting the truth of that, let's look at some of the options that are always available. In any given moment, We're free to shut down or open our heart just a little more. We're free to stop or back up or keep going. We're free to harden ourselves or soften a bit. We're free to take charge of how we use our energies and the direction we're going, or to let life roll over us. We're free to remain silent and do nothing, or to stand up and speak in our strongest and most authentic voice. The choices are always there, but we have to choose, and we have to do something with the choices we make. When we're designing our lives intentionally, acting as our own personal architect, we don't leave those choices to chance. We plan them, we build them into our design, and we put them into action. The truth is, kindness and forgiveness are always choices. So are staying present and listening more deeply. So are resting and taking exquisitely good care of ourselves. So are leaning in and engaging with others from a more heartful place, listening to the wisdom and compassion within ourselves and within them. I don't take the matter of dust and ashes as a morbid one, but as a powerful nudge to be as awake to this moment as I can. Sharing these podcasts in which I encourage you to see the very best in yourself is one way I can do that. And I thank you for allowing me to be an encouraging voice in your ear week after week. So taking to heart the matter of our inextricably connected fineness and mortality, the wonder and amazement of this life, and the fact that we're here for no more than the snap of a finger in relative time, here are 3 beautiful questions. 1. Knowing that you don't have forever in this world, how alive do you choose to be today? And what does that look like? 2. What fineness or aliveness that you've been neglecting do you choose to build into your days? And 3. When you're gone from this world, what do you want the people you've encountered to remember? As always, I'm eager to hear your responses and what you're doing to be fully alive from one moment to the next. As I say each week, my light with your light. Thank you once again for joining me in these podcasts. My goal is for each of us to live better lives and create better possibilities for ourselves, for one another, for the world, and for our beautiful planet home. I look forward to your comments and to your feedback. You can also be inspired by visiting my good friends at Cosmos Journal. That's KOSMOS Journal. Their mission is to inform, inspire, and engage global transformation in harmony with all life. You can easily find them online at cosmosjournal.org. And though we're still under construction, you can now find my free podcasts and guided relaxation audios on the new Beautiful Question website at thebeautifulquestion.com. That's all one word. When the site is completed, you'll be able to read transcripts of these podcasts and find links to a number of other offerings to challenge and inspire you. There will also be a library in which you can quickly find the Beautiful Question podcasts arranged by topics. I know you're going to like how easy the site will be to navigate. If you find these podcasts useful or encouraging, don't hesitate to share them and tell others about them. I'm Scott Lennox, and this has been The Beautiful Question. The Beautiful Question is a One Light production, written, produced, and engineered by Scott Lennox at Heart Rock Studios in Fort Worth, Texas, as a way of paying forward to life, being fully present, becoming better engaged with things that truly matter in a complex world, and committing to a healthier future for all of us.